Calculator, we're back.
Yes. Greetings and salutations, Mr. 411. Another NFL Pick'em style show for the people.
Absolutely. Oh, today is December the 23rd. It's almost Christmas,
Yep.
2021. And you are in the 411 Sports World Show. He's the calculator. I am Mr. 411. This is the NFL Pick'em edition. Calculator, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are, Mr. 411.
Let's hit it. All right, calculator. It's almost time for those NFL picks. The weekend is upon us. NFL starts tonight, actually.
Yes, it does. And that's why we got to get them out to the people.
All right. Well, guess what, calculator? If the people want to get the information, if they want to be in the know and they want to stay on top of things, as the calculator can only do, you have to do three things.
Like, subscribe, notify.
That's it. You do those things, you'll keep up with the calculator and all the information. Well, once again, welcome to the show, and this is our NFL Pick'em, and we definitely had to add some additional content because the fantasy season is starting to wind down, and
Hmm.
but we know that there's still other ways to enjoy the NFL action, and also the college football action too, by the way. But calculator, the floor is yours, my man.
Yes, we are going to do our weekly pick 'em. As I've told the people before, if you follow the show, I am in a year-long pool that we make picks every week. And what I do is it's simple. The premise is if there is a point spread, a team is favored by five or more. That's my threshold based on historical data. Usually five or more cover 80. When I say cover, win 80 to 85% of the time. It's usually the sweet spot for favorites. In here, I'll go right down our sheet. I'm going to pick Green Bay, and they're favored by 7.5. So hey, even if they lose, like I've said, when you pick big spreads, even if they lose, a lot of people are picking them. So you're not going to lose any ground, even if they lose. Yes, the Falcons are at that sweet spot, 5.5. Again, they meet the threshold. And hey, 84% of the public's on them, even after Detroit's what I call them a miraculous win last week. But hey, it's in Atlanta, it's in a dome. Matt Ryan usually plays better at home, and it's the threshold. So we're going Falcons. Not much more analysis on that. Chargers, as you see, 98%. Yes, Houston looked decent last week, but that was against a bad Jacksonville team. Chargers, they I don't see any problems moving the ball against Houston Texans. They're favored by 10, so I'm taking them. The Eagles, they're hot. They're hot. They're going up against a third string quarterback, even though he's a hometown boy of Jake Fromm from the Georgia Bulldogs and from Houston County High School. Even though he's making his first NFL start, he is going against one of the hottest teams in the NFL. The Eagles, the line's 9.5, so I'm going with them. Tampa Bay looks to bounce back. They don't have to play the Saints defense this week. Yes, Carolina's decent, but they're not the Saints as far as you a lot of teams try to copy what the Saints do, but they haven't been successful in the past 2 years. So hey, it meets that Tampa Bay's favored by 10 points. I'm taking them. Seattle, they're right above there. 6.5. Word on the street. Yes, Russell Wilson is kind of banged up. He is questionable tag with an ankle injury. However, Chicago is still ravaged by their own defensive injuries. I think Seattle could just pass at will no matter who, because Gino Torretta, hey, Geno
Geno
Smith,
Smith played well. Yeah.
yeah, he believe it or not, even though they were underdogs, he covered in every game he played. A lot of people don't know that as far as point spreads are. So now, hey, we don't have to cover. We just have to win. They're at home. They're against a depleted Chicago team. It's line 6.5. I have a feeling it will move to the 3.5. Seattle still be favored. There's just too many things in their favor to do that. So yes, I am picking Seattle to win this game. And hey, look, 91% of the public's agreeing with me. So even if something changes and we lose, we're not going to lose much ground in the pool. So then we go to Kansas City Chiefs. Don't need to re-say that. One of the better teams against one of the luckiest teams in the NFL in Pittsburgh. But hey, Kansas City 7.5. They should win easily. And then of course Washington still down to their. Although get Mr. Gilbert looked decent. He's playing on the road this time. He's playing against the Cowboys, who had their way with Washington just 2 weeks ago. So I don't see that changing. They're favored by 10.5. So I'm taking the Cowboys for there. Okay, now everything we have left, and I'll go line by line on what I think the strategy should be. Okay, Tennessee, San Francisco. At first glance, as you can see, the public is pretty split evenly. The spread is San Francisco minus 3. However, word come out, two of the offensive linemen for Tennessee is out. A.J. Brown could or could not be back. We could help it. However, I don't see Tannehill having time to throw with breaking in backup linemen against Bosa and company. San Francisco's doing well in the run game, doing well in the passing game now that Kittle, Ayuk, Debo Samuel's back there. It's a healthy team against a team that is still trying to come back with injuries and just trying to keep their head above water. So I'm taking San Francisco. 58% of the agree. So we could get away early on for today's game. So take San Francisco. Another one, Arizona is -1 against Indianapolis. The public is going to Arizona's side. I did some backtracking. I said, if you take Arizona before their loss to Detroit and you take Indianapolis before their win against New England, the line would have been Arizona -4. So I
Wow.
think a lot of recency bias got put
Hmm.
into this line. And so I really think Arizona is going to do enough to win the game. They're at home. I think they'll have a game plan because yes, Indianapolis beat New England, but if anybody saw that game, they generated under 200 yards of offense, under 4 yards per offensive play. You take that Jonathan Taylor run out of the game, they very well could have went into overtime, even though New England only played and showed up for one quarter of the game. Indianapolis on the road, hangover effect. Arizona needs the win with the Rams and 49ers on their back. So I think the must win is going to swing to Arizona, even though it's -1. I'm taking the home team in this one. Cincinnati -3 against Baltimore. Big, but hey, I'm not going to go much on this one. I think Cincinnati's just a better team than what Baltimore. Yes, Baltimore gave Green Bay all they wanted. I think now they got more film on Huntley. Cincinnati's one of those fly in the ointment teams. If you pick them on any they could beat any given. They don't get blown out by anybody. But if anybody remembers Cincinnati at Baltimore a few weeks ago, Cincinnati blew their doors off. They're not going to have the secondary. Baltimore doesn't due to injuries to be able to keep up with the three wide receiver sets that Cincinnati is going to throw at him. And when you blitz Joe Burrow, that's when he hits you with the deep one to Jamar Chase, to T. Higgins, to Tyler Boyd. So I'm picking Cincinnati just because I think they're the better team, even though they're only favored by 3. Here's the one. New England. People go, hey, nobody bets against New England. But if you just take the game, the Wind Bowl, as we call it, Buffalo,
Yes.
New England threw two, or no, I'm sorry, threw 3 times,
Three.
completed one pass. They didn't need
Come
to.
on, calculator.
Buffalo is going to have a game plan for this. New England is going to have to throw the ball. And we saw, hey, Mac Jones was able to get it going early on, but I think Buffalo is a better team than Indianapolis, even. So, yes, 58% is going to New England. Vegas is going with to New England, but Vegas only has it 2.5. So they're looking at the same thing. They want people to take New England, and that's why they're keeping it under that magic 3 points so that people might not worry about the hook. Hey, I'm taking Buffalo straight up, even though they're the underdog. I feel that they they showed okay, what's the best weapon? Stephon Diggs. That's fine. So what Josh Allen can do is like, okay, I can run the ball. So say, hey,
Yep.
we'll stop the run with Josh Allen. Hey, they could throw it to Stephon Diggs. New England is going to have to find one person or one thing to shut it down. Yes, I'm worried about Cole Beasley being out, so that's going to be one wide receiver down. But Gabriel Davis shows that he's more than enough of a replacement. Devin Singletary is actually coming to the table because Buffalo knows they're going to have to run the ball eventually. He shows that he can the run ball when necessary. I think Buffalo wins this game. Buffalo should have won the first game that they played against New England, but weather conditions, and just plain bad luck was against Buffalo that game, and I think they'll right this trip. So this is where I think we can pick up some ground on people. New England public is favoring them. I'm going with the underdog Buffalo. Oh
And
my
that's amazing
gosh!
that and it's amazing that you're saying that, calculator. Not to rudely interrupt.
Yeah,
Gently just interject for a second. That's where Buffalo. It's hard to just say that that's the upset. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
this is a team that was favored to go to the Super Bowl when the season began.
Preseason, yeah, and things have just not broken their way this year, you know. And New England is who we thought they are. They're a run team. They play defense, and they're going to try and protect their quarterback. And
Exactly.
Buffalo is better at the quarterback position. They are better overall defensively. They have better personnel. They're just not playing as good. New England plays like Bill Belichick wants them to play, and that's good enough to beat most teams in the NFL, but I don't think it's going to be the team that, in my opinion, is more talented in all the other places.
Right.
So,
Yes, sir.
okay. All right. So the next one, we're going to go to a game that only fans will watch. Oh my goodness, Jacksonville and New York Jets. That even Vegas don't want to watch it. They put that line as a pick 'em. So they say just take your take take whichever game you think's going to win. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go against the grain, Mister 411. I see
Really?
82% of the public is going on a game that Vegas says is a toss up. I am
Right.
taking the Jacksonville. This is a game. This is a perfect
Ooh.
thing where Vegas says any team, it's a toss up. So how do you win pools? Hey, I don't care to get second, third, fourth. I want to win a pool. So this is a type of game that can win you pools. Go against a highly favorite public perception team and go opposite. So that's why I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. No analysis. No, hey, why do I use Vegas odds? I want them to do analysis for me. They're saying either one of these teams can win. So, hey, if there's one team highly favored by the public, I'm going the opposite because I want to win first. I don't want to win second. All right.
Yes, sir.
Next one, Rams, Vikings. This, oh man, it's hard. Mr. 4-1. The Rams are favored by it opened up at 3. It's down 2.5. What does that mean? That means some of the wise guys are going Minnesota. Minnesota looked terrible last week, even though they
Right.
covered against Chicago as a depleted team. But I'm telling you, Minnesota is one of those sneaky teams. I don't think Stafford is. If the Rams play like they did against Seattle, they will lose to Minnesota. However, all that's going into there. I was going to come on to this show and pick Minnesota,
Oh
Mr. 401. I
no.
had it on there. Dalvin Cook, COVID injured reserve. So that
Wow.
right there, you take one of the biggest playmakers out of this game, you gotta go with the Rams. This line's got Dalvin Cook's worth 2 to 3 points. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL. I'm sorry, yeah, Madison is a decent replacement, and they got some other guy I can't even pronounce his last name that
Yeah.
was running in there because Madison was hurt. So yeah, I'm going with the Rams on this one. Thielen is still banged up. I'm just going with the hey. And even if the Rams don't win, if you look, the it is so one sided that it's not going to hurt you. So I got to go because of the COVID. If Cook was there, if Minnesota was healthy, I would have picked Minnesota because this is the one. But I just can't do it. I got to go with the healthier team. And then another one, Vegas, Denver. Teddy Bridgewater is reportedly not practicing after you saw his injury. Vegas looks like they're the better team, but guess what, Mister 401? It's another pick 'em. It's
You know what
another
that
pick 'em.
means.
I mean,
Time to go
in the
against the
public
grain.
perception, I mean, this is the same thing as the Jacksonville. Vegas is saying that either team can win. So yeah, I'm going the other way. Remember, we're for first place, Mr. 411. Vegas says it's even with a backup quarterback. Apparently, they're saying the backup quarterback is just as good as Bridgewater. So, Locke, do it for us, baby. I think Vegas could have a hangover from their big win last week because they're the one that cost me first place in my other pool. How they beat an injury to barely beat an injury depleted team. And also for all those fantasy players that follow us too. If you have Renfro, put him in your lineup because Denver is a funnel type defense. Vegas, the only guy that's going to be open is Renfro in the middle in the slot because Denver shuts down outside receivers. And I think when Kansas City showed if you make Renfro beat you, you have good success because Kansas City let Renfro catch 11 catches, 170 yards and a touchdown, and they beat them by 4 touchdowns. So, yes, I think Denver's going to take that same type of defensive philosophy that Kansas City did. They're not going to score like Kansas City, of course, but I think Denver will score enough field goals against a Vegas defense that, hey, they showed up against an injury depleted third string quarterback, but now I think Denver has two solid running backs, a solid offensive line, and a quarterback. Hey, he can hit you over the top with to a Jerry Judy every now and then. So yeah, I'm letting Vegas. Vegas says, hey, any team can win. And again, I'm going against public perception because, like I said, Mr. 411, we want to win first place. Second place in this pool don't win us anything. All right. Last, my New Orleans Saints, the
Oh, your
Miami
team.
Dolphins. Hey, I was ready to go. I was thinking, what in the world? The Saints are favored by 3, and they have they're coming off a win. Word on the, I just got word. Taysom Hill COVID list.
What
Another
in the
big
world?
person. Yeah. So guess what? They're not going to Trevor Simeon. They're going to draft rookie Ian Book. For all those college nuts out there, he was a really good quarterback for Notre Dame. But what does Miami do? They blitz. What can they do? They can cover the outside. They're going to make life
Close.
uncomfortable for a rookie quarterback, even at home. And hey, again, I'm going against public perception. I'm taking Miami. And hey, Mr. 4-1, and I'll be happy if the Saints win. I will, because I'm a Saints fan
Right.
above all else. But if I'm given, I have to give unbiased information to our folks. And I think without Taysom Hill, the Saints are a totally different team. Even though Alvin Kamara's back, Ian Book's not going to run rollouts like Taysom Hill. Ian Book is not going to feel comfortable with a pass in with all those good cover corners and those Miami blitzing the A gap pretty much every down. I think this is a letdown game for the Saints, and I'm actually picking the Dolphins for an upset. And I think the Saints are going to keep it close because Miami, instead. So we're going to keep it a low scoring game. We're going to keep it 42 is a nice round number. Like a, kind of like a 21 or not, I would say 22-20 type game. Something close,
Yeah.
but I think
Hmm.
Miami will actually pull out the win in this, even though New Orleans is at home, Kamara's there, but not. I'm telling you, they are a different team without Taysom Hill, and this is for somebody I have watched every. Yes, I've watched every Saints game this year, even as
Yeah.
frustrating as it is. But yeah, I think the Saints, and it could be like a 20 to 18 game, and New Orleans is going for a 2 point conversion at the end of the game to try and tie it up. And that's why it's going to be one of these weird scoring games. I think it's going to be close.
Right.
But yeah, I'm picking Miami again, and I got to do a total points for tiebreakers. So that's why I'm going with 42, a little bit lower than the over under that Vegas has put up there.
Yeah, it seems like right now the Miami Dolphins are in a stretch where there's a lot of things breaking their way.
Yep.
Certain matchups, injuries,
Hmm.
quarterback play. A lot of things are just breaking their way the last couple of weeks. So the Dolphins are planning to make this playoff push, and here's another opportunity for them. I
Yes.
do agree with you about book. I think the book is closed, and that chapter will be
Yeah.
closed after this week. But man, what a terrible injury there. I mean, a terrible situation there for the Saints because
Yeah.
they are in the playoff
Playoff
contention
picture.
right
They're
now.
actually the number 7 seed right now.
Right.
They would actually be favored, believe it or not, to play Tampa Bay in the first round of the playoffs. Tampa Bay don't want to see the Saints in the playoffs.
That again, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah, yeah,
so it's like wow. I mean, things were looking up for the Saints. So
yeah,
hopefully,
and
Kamara can go nuts.
exactly. And see, and the thing is, a lot of people want to know why we wait so late. We wait so that we can, like I said, the Calvin News. Dalvin Cook for me just broke. The Taysom Hill just broke. So we try to get as close to the game days as we can to get as much information. Because like I said, if Dalvin Cook wouldn't have been there, I'd have been suggesting to take the Vikings. If Taysom Hill wasn't on the COVID list, I would be taking the Saints. So that's why
Yep.
it's one of these things that hey, we got to use all this information to help us out.
Right. And that's why you have to do those three things: the
Yep.
like, subscribe,
Subscribe,
and
notify.
notify.
Yep.
That's it. You do those things, you stay in the know.
Hmm.
All right, calculator. Appreciate it, man. Great job there. Everyone is very thankful of you sharing your picks. And look, you did it live. I mean, so you putting your
That's
money
right.
where
So,
your mouth
so
is.
I'm not just going to tell people and not do it. I'm going to have skin in my game too. I was hurting just as much as everybody in that San Diego debacle. Well, San Diego, the Chargers debacle against the Chiefs is
Yes,
because that would have set me up to win the week to start off with a thing that was going against public perception, And I actually
you
got
had it.
back into it. I got back into it with the Colts beat New England, and then Cleveland against the Raiders. That just it let me down, and they should have won. They had that game won. They really did, even with a third string quarterback. They just Vegas is one of those teams that you just don't know which Vegas Raiders you're gonna get. But I think Denver has they'll have a defense that's better equipped than Cleveland was to be able to stop the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, and there's another thing I'm noticing this year too. We could talk about it on another show, but the trend of teams going for two. That
Yes.
that's really been like it's almost
Analytics.
feeling like the norm.
Analytics.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Analytics lost the game for the Chargers on Thursday night. I'll be the first to say it. People can say, oh, it's the right call, but it wasn't a good call. There are two different things. And, that's why I love Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, every time he'd have kicked that field goal more, and everybody said he went for 2 points more often than any team last year or 2 years ago. Well, he had Tom Brady. All right. So there was a big difference than what he would do now. I guarantee you, if he had a young Justin Herbert and he had a chance to get a field goal right before halftime, he's kicking the field goal even if it's on the 2 yard line. So yeah, yeah, trust me, Bill Belichick would have kicked field goals in those situations because you kicked three of those field goals. They were basically the old extra points in the 20 yards.
right.
They don't even have the game don't even go to overtime. They win by 9. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, a lot of people say, well, you don't know what hey, I don't care what the Chiefs were done. All I know is the Chiefs were still trying to throw the ball in the second and third quarter, and they were still incomplete. All right. They'd have been so far back, even though they're throwing all they wanted in the fourth quarter, they still could do what they want. They'd have been too far behind to catch back. Analytics lost the game for the Chargers.
yep, absolutely,
And
calculator.
I'm an
But
analytical person, Mr. 411. I love analytics, but
well,
I
look,
don't like
your
it. I
name.
don't like
Come on, your name is a calculator. I
I
mean,
know.
enough said.
So like I
Enough
said, it may
said
have
on
been the
that.
right call, but it was a bad call.
Yeah, but you know what the right call is for everyone, calculator.
Oh
It's the
yes,
dial. It's the dial number that's at the bottom of the screen here. Heavenly
absolutely.
Spa Mobile, 2484 Ingleside Avenue, Building A, Suite 101-A, Macon, Georgia, 31204. Latanya can be reached, and here's the number: 478-747-9231. That number again is 478-747-9231. Heavenly Spa Mobile, calculator, where relaxation is what?
It's key.
The key. We
The
thank
key.
Heavenly Spa Mobile for supporting the show and all the other shows too. But we definitely are thankful of Heavenly Spa Mobile and the things that they do for us. We're thankful for Zingo TV for also broadcasting our show across the country. Calculator, you are country. You're actually worldwide, but but the calculator is trending, man, across the world, my man.
Hey,
So, we appreciate everything there. Like I said, I was out and about eating one night, and it was like, man, you and that guy on that show, man, y'all really, delivering knowledge to us. And I say, hey, that's the calculator. That's what he does. That's what he does. So,
hey.
and they did the three things: the like, subscribe, notify.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Well, calculator, great show. We thank everybody for watching. We thank everybody for listening. We want you to stay tuned. Just if you hit that like, subscribe, notify, you'll be able to keep up with all the shows that we are doing, the fantasy, the crossing the lines, the pickums,
Mhm.
and then the sports brothers also with Zach, as
Yes,
he
sir.
gives you gives his weekly sports take on a lot of the hot topics throughout the week. So you can get your fixing. And soon to return. The date has not been announced yet, but Lacey Dawson, the return of Lacey Dawson.
Oh, I can't wait for Lacey to come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we've located Lacey.
Yes.
Um, you know, she's we had to work out some contractual things with her, but she is returning, and so that's great news.
Looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, for the calculator, I am Mr. 411. We thank you for watching. We thank you for listening. Have a safe and happy holiday season, and we'll see
Hmm.
you all soon.
Yep. Bye, everyone.